In this episode, we look at Unit 17, Life in the Different Climatic Zones, page 99 from our Social Studies workbook. The main climatic zones are the tropical, temperate, and polar zones. In this unit, you will discover how people live in the different climatic zones. Part 1, Life in Ghana, a country in the tropical zone. Part 2, Life in New Zealand, a country in the South Temperate Zone. Part 3, Life in Japan, a country in the North Temperate Zone. Part 4, Life in Siberia, a country in the North Polar Zone. Part 1. What is life like in the tropical zone? Ghana. Ghana's location. Ghana is geographically closer to the center of the world than any other country. It is located in West Africa, just a few degrees north of the equator. It is situated between 5 degrees and 12 degrees north latitude and 0 degrees longitude. Ghana's closest neighbors are Burkina Faso to the north, the Ivory Coast to the west, and Togo to the east. The Gulf of Guinea, part of the Atlantic Ocean, washes Ghana's southern shore. The capital city of Ghana is Accra. The Greenwich Meridian passes through Ghana, and here we have in the center of our page, page 99, we have a map of Ghana showing Ghana. We have that little star there, and we see Accra, we see the Gulf of Guinea, the Atlantic Ocean, and we have to the west the Ivory Coast, to the north Burkina Faso, to the east Togo, Benin, Nigeria, and so on. We now go to Ghana's climate. Ghana, like Jamaica, lies in the tropical zone. Ghana's tropical climate has distinct dry and wet seasons, which varies within the regions. The north experiences a long rainy season from March until November, and a long dry season from November to March. This dry season is a result of the hot Saharan wind known as the harmattan, which blows from the north. The harmattan is very intense in December and January. We now move from page 99 to page 100. The South experiences two rainy seasons, one from April to July, which is followed by intermittent rain in August, and the other from September to November. The northern section of the country is drier than the southern section, with the exception of the coastal areas around Accra. In Accra, the average daily temperatures range from 23 degrees to 31 degrees Celsius in January, while in July it ranges from 23 degrees to 27 degrees Celsius. The average annual rainfall ranges from 750 millimeters to 1,000 millimeters in Accra. The eastern coast is warm and dry, and the southwest is hot and humid. The country experiences occasional drought. We now go to the physical features of Ghana. The country of Ghana is characterized by flat plains and gently sloping hills. There are no high mountains. In Ghana, half of the country is less than 900 meters above sea level. About 27% of the country's area is covered with forests, while 23% of its area is arable. Ghana is divided into 5 geographical regions, namely the Forested Plateau region. This is located inland in the southwest and south central areas of Ghana. The coastal plains, which stretch across the southern parts of the country, featuring low sandy beaches. The Volta Basin, and this is located in central Ghana. And the hilly Togo ranges that run north to south along the country's eastern border. And lastly, the high plains, and these are located in the northern part of the country. We have rivers and lakes. Ghana's main river is the Volta, which is formed in the center of the country. Two major tributaries of the Volta are the Afram and Oti River. These rivers drain into the Volta Basin. Other important rivers, the Pra, Denso, and Birim, empty into the Gulf of Guinea. The rivers, with the exception of the Volta, are navigable only by small crafts. Lake Volta is one of the world's largest artificially made lakes and is located in east-central Ghana. Vegetation and natural resources. Ghana is well supplied with natural resources. Its most important natural resource is the soil. The country is largely agricultural, producing crops such as cocoa, coconuts, coffee, oil palm, kola nuts, yam, rice, plantains, corn, and tobacco. The northern two-thirds of Ghana is covered by savanna, which is also called grassland. In the south, the natural vegetation is tropical rainforest with evergreen and semi-deciduous forests. Ghana's main mineral resource is gold. Other important minerals are bauxite, manganese, and diamonds. Economic activities. The traditional backbone of Ghana's economy is based on agriculture, forestry, fishing, and mineral deposits. Most Ghanaians are farmers. Ghana is the world's leading producer of cocoa, which is the country's most important crop and its chief export. Other important cash crops are coffee, coconuts, yam, corn, rice, plantains, millet, and the kernel from palm trees. The timber industry produces large quantities of mahogany and forest products, which account for about 8% of their export. Mining is another major industry in Ghana. This is a source of foreign exchange. Mining exports include gold, diamonds, manganese, and bauxite. The country is one of the world's top producers of gold. The rivers and Lake Volta provide fresh water fish, while the Atlantic provides the bulk of the country's fish supply. The manufacture of locally produced consumer goods plays a small but very important part in the country's economy. The chief products include beverages, textiles and clothing, processed foods, rubber products, cigarettes, and furniture. In Ghana, tourism is one of the expanding service industries. Most of its visitors come from Europe and the United States of America. We now turn from page 101 to page 102. We look now at social and cultural activities. Ghana's culture has as much diversity as its languages and its geographical regions. There are over 100 linguistic and ethnic groups in Ghana. English is one of the official languages of the country. The arts are closely related to the traditional religions. Ghana's visual arts are dominated by wood carvings, especially the making of masks. Other traditional visual forms include weaving, gold jewelry, and pottery. In Ghana, the traditional forms of music and dance continue to dominate the performing arts at community functions and ceremonies such as funerals and weddings. The country is well known for its talking drums, otompons. These drums imitate the vocal or musical patterns of the spoken language. Much of Ghanaian society continues to be traditional. One of its traditional practices is the local chiefs presiding over the society. Each region in Ghana has its own house of chiefs. The chiefs represent the people in the central government and protect the rights and privileges of the people. In Ghana, it is traditional for young people to respect their parents and older people. Ghana's chief staple foods are plantains, yams, cassava, rice, and corn. Variety of dishes are prepared from these staples. Two of Ghana's most popular dishes are fufu and kenke. And here we have some pictures at the bottom of page 102. We have the flag with the star in it. We have the huts. We have traditional dance, traditional dress being shown, and traditional work being done. Alright, so this brings us to the end of Unit 17. The unit review starts on page 103. Please answer those questions so we can discuss them in class. In the next episode, we'll look at Part 2. What is life like in the South Temperate Zone, New Zealand? See you then.